Number five, the most obscure movie on my list that I have here, and most people maybe have not seen or heard of, and that's called Fight or Flight. This is kind of a crazy balls to the walls action movie, and it all sets on an airplane starring Josh Hartnett, where Josh Hartnett is on an airplane. He's kind of sent there to look for this kind of worldwide assassin who's got a big bounty on their head, and he's looking for them to kind of detain them on this airplane till it lands, to give them over to the authorities. So it's kind of like that. So first, he's trying to figure out who is this terrorist that they're looking for, because they don't know what that terrorist looks like. And then the twist kind of the movie is that the airplane's full of bounty hunters, really dangerous bounty hunters, who are also looking for this same person because they have a big bounty on their head, so they're going to make money if they can kill them. So Josh Hartnett's character is trying to finds the assassin, then has to protect him from all the other bounty hunters because he wants the terrorists alive, and has to protect them from getting killed and give them to authority, all this. Anyway, so that's kind of the whole plot of the movie. It's just a really fun movie. The action scenes are crazy, but very fun, very well done, very well shot. I like the action overall. One of the best action movies of the year, and a lot of action movies I see aren't done very well. This one's done very well. So if you like action, this was a movie, definitely you got to check it out. And it's very funny too. I do love a lot of comedy. And Josh Hartnett is so good in this role. I mean, I really liked him last year. He did Trap, and I thought he was so good in Trap. Fight or Flight, great performance again. Really has a lot of fun with it. So yeah, Josh Hartnett's doing really great work in the last couple of years. I hope to see more of him and him get more recognition for how good he's been doing. It's like a renaissance for him at the moment. But yeah, so if you like a fun action movie, this is a really good movie to check out, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, definitely check out Fight or Flight. Number five on my list. Number four, I have Superman. Superman is the best superhero movie I saw of the year, and it's one of those things. It's a reboot of one of the most popular superheroes of all time that we've seen so many different iterations, so many different actors coming into that role, different directors. What is their vision? This is the new DC with James Gunn at the lead. So this is our first kind of big James Gunn movie from the new DC world that they're trying to make anyways. And so we got a new Superman. I think his name is David Cornsweet or something like that. All new characters. I love, I'm going to forget the name. The actor who plays Lex Luger is very good. I think he's one of the best Lex Lugers we've gotten, way better than Jesse Eisenberg, who was horrible, one of the worst performances I've ever seen. So I do like the what they did with Lex Luger was really good in this movie. And yeah, this is definitely James Gunn. I know a lot of people, this is a movie that I've heard people hate, some people really like. And I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I'm more of a Batman fan. Superman seems overpowered. He's just too strong, and his only weakness is kryptonite. So it's like he's just not as fun to watch because he's just so powerful of a human being. So what they do in this movie, though, they do team him up with this other squad with Nathan Fillion playing. I think he's playing one of the Lanterns, one of the Green Lanterns, Guy Gardner. Yeah. So I do love that group with Guy Gardner. He's great. That's maybe my favorite. Some of my favorite stuff is with Nathan Fillion. Well, I forget the guy's name. I want to say his name's Mr. Fantastic, but that's probably not correct. But he was really great in this Hot Girl. Anyway, so I did love that group, which is so James Gunn. He loves, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad. So he does love movies where he teams up different characters. I've heard a lot of people don't like that because they like, this should be Superman. Superman should be the main hero, and they didn't like that they brought in all these other people. But I'm the opposite. I love movies where there's multiple heroes in the same movie. I love the Avenger movies. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad. I do love a good X-Men. I do love a good team-up movie with multiple superheroes. So to me, I actually didn't mind it. And the fact that the other superheroes were really fun to bring in. Yeah, lots of funny moments, as James Gunn's really good with comedy in his superhero movies. The action was overall decent. I wouldn't say it's like one of the greatest action superhero movies, but still, there's like the big kaiju fight scene at one point, and he does fight like other superhuman beings at the end. So you do get some of that, which is done, overall very well. And I did like the whole arc between him and his parents. Who's his real parents? His biological parents who are dead, the Kryptonians, or his kind of adopted Kansas parents who raised him as a human. So it's like he's part Kryptonian alien and he's part human. And so it kind of deals with that side, like, which side does he prefer, like the Kryptonian or the human side? So I do love that arc that he has. I won't reveal exactly, but I did love the ending scene. I thought it was actually nice and sweet overall. And overall, the plot was actually pretty good, pretty complex. I didn't quite get what was going on all the time, but still, it was very, interesting and kept me, never a boring moment. I thought it was paced pretty well. And I just came out and had a lot of fun with it. I don't know how, that's like my best thing that I can say about it is just, I remember after I saw it and I came out of the theater, I just went, man, I just had a lot of fun. And I haven't had a lot of fun with superhero movies in a long time. There's been so many bad superhero comic book movies in the last couple of years that it's like, man, I'd love to just have a solid superhero movie that's fun. And that's what I found with Superman. It was really fun. I think a good start to the kind of this new DC. I know Supergirl, I think, is the next one, and we'll see what's next, and maybe a Batman in the future. But yeah, hopefully they can keep this going because I'd love to see some more good superhero movies. And like I said, I did like the 2 or 3 that we got this year. I thought they did a way better job with superhero movies this year than previous years. So at least that's trending upward anyways. So yeah, number 4, Superman. Number 3, I have Nobody 2. Kind of surprised me too. I wasn't expecting to love this movie, but I do love just a fun action movie like Fight or Flight, like I already mentioned. This is kind of like that movie. It's just a fun action movie. It's very silly at times. It's unrealistic, but I don't know. I kind of bought into the whole unrealism of the movie, and I just had fun with it, and that's why I have it so high, number 3. It's pretty high on my list because it's just one of the funnest movies I had this year. Of course, sequel to the first one with Bob Odenkirk playing like this. It's supposed to be this regular dad, family man who has this secret past of like being, some kind of secret assassin or something, and is really good at killing people and fighting and all that. And I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of Nobody for some reason. I think that's because I had a hard time buying Bob Odenkirk as like this, John Wick type, action guy, because Bob Odenkirk is a comedic actor, really doesn't look like an action guy. But I mean, he trained real hard to do this, and I would say this is not nearly as good as like a John Wick movie or Bullet Train or something like that or whatever. But somehow he still does good enough that it's believable that he can beat people up. I guess, I don't know why I bought into it more. And I think maybe I like this movie so much more than the first one because I did love the premise. The whole premise is just he's taking his family on this vacation to this water park, and he kind of comes across some corrupt police. And he accidentally, like, he doesn't look to get involved, but he just kind of accidentally kind of gets involved with this police corruption in this town. It ends up being a bigger deal than he even knew. There's this big bad woman played by Sharon Stone who's doing evil things, who gets involved anyways. But I do like the character because he does. There's a scene where this kid gets kidnapped, and he sees this kid kidnapped, and he starts walking away from the situation because he really doesn't want to get involved, but he goes back to save the kid. And I do love that. It's a great character moment of like, he doesn't want to get involved, like, and he even promised his wife he wouldn't get involved, but then his morality or whatever you want to say forced him to go back and save this kid. And so I did love that he's like, I didn't want to get involved, but I have to, it's one of those things like, it's almost like a superhero thing where it's like with great, great whatever, is great responsibility. I know I butchered the whole Spider-Man thing there. But it's true. If you have the ability to help somebody and you don't, it's like, you have a responsibility if you can, help somebody. And I love that he's like, yeah, I could save this kid, so I'm going to go do it. I have the, ability, and I just I would regret it if I didn't, help out. So I did love that about the character. Odenkirk overall, I don't know, I did like this character. He's very kind of like John Wick in the sense that he's very kind of quiet. He doesn't say a lot. Uh, he's kind of, I don't know, a character that's just not a lot of charisma. It doesn't seem like from the character, but yeah, somehow I liked it that way. The way he is, he kind of never smiles. He's always kind of frowning. He always seems tired, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. It really worked for this character in this movie, and I thought Odenkirk did a good job here as well. And I said it's very silly, the action sequences like that. There's one that's on a duck, one of those duck boats, and he gets attacked by Colin Quinn's goons. And I did like that sequence because he doesn't even know why they're attacking him. He's like, "Why are you guys attacking me?" And he gets in the fight and he gets knocked off the boat. And one of my favorite scenes. And you're like, "Oh, he got knocked off. What's going to happen now?" And then we see him kind of climb back on the boat, and then he beats the crap out of everybody. It's kind of like, okay, now you made me mad. It was almost like not going full out, but then after they knocked him off the boat and he had to climb back in, and it was like, okay, now I'm going to mess you up, and he does mess all these people up. So I do love kind of moments like that. The very final scene was really fun. The whole action sequence is at the water park, and so they figure ways to booby trap the water park. It's silly, but I don't know. It was fun. It was very violent, bloody too, but that's part of the fun of it. Christopher Lloyd is great here. I loved his performance. Small performance, but still he provides some comedy here. And overall, the action scenes were very well done, I think, and very fun. Like I said, I loved with the water park and like he's being chased by a guy with a gun and he goes down a water slide and the guy goes down the water slide shooting at him. I don't know. I love this kind of stuff. That makes me happy. So I did like all that scenes towards the end at the water park anyway. So yeah, this was just a really fun action movie. I do love, that's like one of my favorite genres is action movies and comedy. That's just a great combination. And you see a lot of that on my list, with Fight or Flight, kind of Nobody 2 is kind of both are like that. I love Bullet Train for that reason. It's kind of a mixture of action comedy. Anyways, I love action comedy. So Nobody 2, number 3 on my list.